Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Plugged In on TV Cogeco. I'm your host Melanie DeVoe, and today we're going to talk about the future of healthcare right here in our community of Windsor and Essex County. You may remember back in 2013, then Finance Minister Dwight Duncan got the ball rolling on talking about a new hospital for this area, a mega hospital, if you will. That's what a lot of people have been calling it. A steering committee was formed to look into the issue. And joining me today to talk to us about where everything stands are the co-chairs of that steering committee, Dave Cook, former MPP and cabinet minister. Welcome, Dave.
Glad to be here.
And David Mouche, who is the president and CEO of Windsor Regional Hospital. Hi, David.
Hi, Melanie.
Well, you may know that by day I'm a realtor. And what's the number one issue in real estate? Location, location, location. So I'm going to ask the question everybody wants the answer to: where the heck is this new hospital going to be?
Well, that's a process that's underway, and we've put together a rather dynamic, transparent, and novel process to select the new site. Instead of just having 3 or 4 people go out and pick where the new site's going to be, or be told where the new site's going to be, which some hospitals have done across the province, and it comes with a lot of confrontation, a lot of issues when just a couple people are the individuals picking the site. We have a committee, and a committee made up of individuals from our community, volunteers, some hospital board members, and some straight from the community that have had no connection with the hospital at all that applied. And we have 11 people. And they have rather detailed process they've put together on the actual site selection, which they're in the process now. And we're hoping early in 2015 we will have an actual short list of sites put together. And from that short list, they will ultimately select the preferred site.
What's the minimum land requirement?
Well, it varies. The criteria, there's 32 criteria which are being used by the committee, which are on the website for individuals to view. And actually, as part of the process, we actually went to the community, and the community provided us feedback on what they thought was important. So out of these 32 criteria, part of it is size of the property. And you get so many points. And size being, it could be under 30 acres, it could be 40 acres, it could be 50 acres, it could be greater than 50 acres. What the ministry wants to look at is, instead of a hospital being on a very small parcel of land, and then maybe 20, 30 years from now, it has to move again because it's outgrown that site, which we have with respect to, say, the Metropolitan site or even the Olette site. They want to make sure that you have the ability not only to build a new hospital with sufficient parking, with sufficient amenities, but also you have the power to regenerate on that existing site. So the preferred range is somewhere between 30 to 50 in the criteria. It's one of the criteria that is being used by the committee. But again, that's the vision of where the ministry would like to see it go in that type of size.
I think I just want to jump in for a sec, because David's referred to the consultation that was done in the community. I mean, there will be people at the end of the day when the site is selected and announced. Not everybody's going to agree. That's a given. But there's been a consensus in the community because of the input that was allowed on the website, and David and I went on the radio phone-in shows and consultations in the community, that the criteria was something that the community owns, not just the hospital or the steering committee. So at the end of the day, while everybody might not say, geez, I don't really like it there, the process has been unique in Ontario, and I think we all need to fall behind that process and rally behind it, because that is the way that the community's had a lot of input in terms of where this ultimately will be located.
What I've seen, and there's a lot of chatter on social media about this subject, is city versus county. The county folks are saying we need something closer to us. The city folks are saying the hospital has to stay in the city. Some believe it should be in the downtown core, but that's a land issue there. So how do you put the two together? You're not going to make everybody happy, I guess, as you said, but does it need to be in the city limits?
Well, I don't think we would want to, certainly don't want to say yes, don't want to say no. The process and the criteria is what has to dominate. I think we do need to understand in Windsor Essex, though, that we are in a unique part of the province. In lots of areas where you have a city and then a rural area, the population is in the city overwhelms the population in the county. In Windsor, Essex, it's quite unique. There's a little over 200,000 people in the city, and I think it's about 170,000 in the county. So at the end of the day, the new hospital has to serve the entire Windsor Essex community, wherever it's located.
Yeah, what we heard from the community is accessibility.
Yeah.
So it has to be accessible to the residents of Windsor Essex. And that's the critical part, and that's what the committee is going to end up with, is the parcel that will be selected. As David said, we know there will be people, we won't make everybody happy. That's impossible. It'll be in the wrong place, no matter which place they select. But what they will end up with, because of the criteria that was put together, that was vetted and supported by the community, accessibility was key. It will end up being in a location that is accessible to the residents of Windsor, Essex County.
All right. Now, we have 3 videos. We're going to talk about a video project that you have underway. That's why we're here today, to launch the video project. So let's go to the first video first. We'll have a little look at it, and then we'll talk about who you're aiming at with this video project, the reasoning behind it. First up, we're going to hear from a medical resident and get his thoughts on why new and modern facilities are so important.
Hi, I'm Alison Johnson for Windsor Regional Hospital. Think competition in Canadian healthcare isn't important? Well, think again. We're competing every day, not for business, but for something much more valuable in a life and death situation. Take a look.
Hi, guys.
By all accounts, Dr. Samuel Omatoye is a catch.
So, how is it going?
The resident doctor is visiting Windsor right now. He graduates next year.
My budding specialty is cardiology, adult cardiology, with special interest in cardiac electrophysiology.
Bottom line, he has some super specialized skills and can mend a broken heart like few others.
The feeling never gets old.
Saving lives.
Of saving lives.
His skills have Windsor Regional's Chief of Staff taking note.
He has a certain skill set that we clearly need that. And right now, all our patients with that kind of problem are being referred to London.
Dr. Gary Ng wants to make the relationship with this visiting doctor exclusive, but Dr. Omatoye may be out of our league.
Windsor is still in a very rudimentary stage, very rudimentary infrastructure to accommodate the kind of skills that me and even some of my other colleagues who are also in training will be looking for.
2 locations, outdated infrastructure. Our hospitals are not really turning any heads, and those at the top of their game want facilities to match.
Absolutely, we do. In fact, for example, I was aware that Humber River was just completing the $1.7 billion infrastructure, very similar to what I think Windsor may be looking to do.
That project is a state-of-the-art facility scheduled to open in Toronto next year. Right around the same time, Halton Healthcare in Oakville is expected to open a $2 billion new hospital. Last year, Niagara Health System opened a modern complex in St. Catharines, and another new hospital for that region is now in the works.
And every time another region transforms its healthcare system by investing in modern healthcare facilities like this, it makes it that much more of a challenge for Windsor to get noticed.
So sometimes when you get turned down, it's disappointing because you know you have the potential, but you just have to get to the next level so that you will be in the same level as the other more attractive sites in the province.
In order to play in the big leagues, Dr. Ng says we have to step up our game, and a new hospital is without a doubt a game changer.
I think it will make you very attractive.
It's the law of attraction. Like attracts like. And if we want to attract the best, we really can't offer any less.